Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance by clinical psychologist Dr. Ellen Kenner.
Asking your partner to sacrifice their rational values destroys relationships. Consider this example from an advice column. A recently remarried man stated that he wanted to take a trip with his 12-year-old daughter from his first marriage in order to bond with her before she became a teenager enmeshed in school and peer relationships. His wife adamantly opposed the idea, even though she didn't object to his taking an equally long vacation with his fishing buddies. Her objection to his vacationing with his daughter was based on jealousy and insecurity, which she allowed to undermine an important value of her husband's. If she truly loved him, she would not only permit but also encourage him to take the trip because it was important to him. This would have strengthened their relationship.
You can download Chapter 1 for free by going to drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.
Is a family member's temper making your home life miserable? Are they harming your kids or you? Now's your chance to talk about it with Dr. Ellen Kenner, clinical psychologist, taking your calls and questions on parenting, relationships, or any personal issue. Call her now toll-free at 877-DR-KENNER. That's 877-DRKENNER.
This last week with Dad, it's been a living hell. When I'm there, I feel like my territory's being violated. When I'm not, I'm worried about what he's up to. Look at me, I'm a nervous wreck. You don't still have the brochures from those rest homes, do you?
But you really think that's necessary?
I'm afraid I do. I don't have my life anymore. You don't suppose there's a chance that you and Maris could...
Dear God, no.
One emailer wrote to me and said, I am sure that you will never discuss this email openly on one of your shows. She was walking through her living room, picking up my show, listening to it, and she heard me say something. Now, you can't take it out of context, but she heard me say something that she thought said, dump your elderly parents. You know, you've got to have a life, and if they have aches and pains, then put them in a nursing home. Get rid of them. Enjoy your life. And so she wrote me a very lovely, tasteful letter, very strong letter, but very tasteful, saying, Dr. Kenner, I know you're a professional and you've studied in the books, but you've got to have compassion for others, and you don't learn that in any book. So she's assuming that I don't have compassion for others, and so she's got a view about me that is woefully mistaken, but she's right on one point. So here's a piece of a longer email. She said, Dear Dr. Kenner, the one thing our young society today is missing is compassion for others. Without compassion for others, what do we have? We have a society of people who never experience inner peace and satisfaction. They are too busy in their me world. Okay, so you picture the people kind of polishing their nails. Now I get my nails done. You picture, just somebody that's a total narcissist, totally me only. And she says, sacrifice builds strong character. Okay, I fully disagree with that, but I'm coming back to that in a minute. Think about what you think. Does your sacrifice in life build strong character or strong resentment and bitterness and envy? Next, she says, I am 63 years old. My dad is 90 and has Alzheimer's, so that's a tragic situation. And I am his caretaker. It's a tough job, and the sacrifices are endless. But at least he has the love of family and is not stuck in a nursing home where he would only exist. So let's take a closer look at that for a moment. The sacrifices are endless. You wake up in the morning, you have to feed him, you have to bathe your own dad, you have to deal with the fact that he's lost his mind. He's no longer your dad anymore. He doesn't recognize you at times, but maybe, if he's 90, I'm guessing it's advanced Alzheimer's, he doesn't know who you are. So he's a shell of the man he used to be. His mind is gone. It's got a lot of plaques. He's got a lot of the plaques on the brains. The brain has the Alzheimer plaques. And so it's not really your dad anymore, but you feel like a good person. The sacrifices are endless. So think of the visuals of what it's like to live for maybe 10 years, 15 years with this family member if the Alzheimer's has been a very slow process. Now, you're 63 years old. That's a chunk of your life. And she says, then she continues in her email, and thank God we did not think of ourselves first in this situation. I was taught by my mother and father, whose education was 6th grade, that the best gift you can give another person is the gift of yourself. And guilt has nothing to do with it. It's called compassion, something that could never be taught by a textbook. I just hope and pray that someday your family is loving and compassionate and does not just put you, that's me, Dr. Kenner, somewhere among strangers to satisfy their own needs. That would be terrible. Thank you for listening, Mary. So, Mary, I want to take 2 of those points. There are many points that I could talk about, and I've already started to. Point 1, sacrifice builds strong character. Think of people who've said, I never do anything for myself, I've just done for my husband, I just do for my kids, I just do for my relatives, I just do for the church, I just do for the temple, I just do for the community, I just do for the nation, I just do for the environment. Think of what that does when you abandon yourself. Would you want a very young child who says, oh, Mommy, I want to go to the playground. I want to take tap dancing or ballet. I want to take tennis, Mommy. Think of saying, no, you need to sacrifice your values. None of us, the healthy ones of us, would want to do that to our kids. We want to see them pursuing their values. Well, I think the kid in you never grows up. I would love to see you continue to pursue your values. Now, there are tragic situations. For example, if we have a handicapped kid where we can't just toss the kid out and move on, where we have an obligation, a responsibility. But I would hope that it would motivate us to become more successful. There's a very famous opera singer who had a handicapped child, and what she did was she became so passionate about her career, and it earned her a lot of money, so it gave her some respite from the child, and then she was still able to have her caretaking responsibilities and have a life for herself. Now, not everybody is that skilled or that ambitious, but that alternative is open to you. So here's what I would think. I imagine myself being your dad, the Alzheimer's patient, but with one additional feature, that I'm aware that you're doing this for me. I would be horrified. And let's say it's not you, but my 2 kids. My husband and I have already taken out long-term health insurance so that my kids can afford a nursing home for us. I have so much compassion for my kids that I don't want to see them unnecessarily torture themselves by cleaning my diapers, depends, by cleaning up after me, by having to get in the shower and shower their own mother day in and day out, and feed me when food is drooling down my face. People are trained for that, and they pay for that. And yes, the nursing home will not be as nice as home, but it may even be better, because family members burn out just like everybody, and they may feel resentment, and they may take it out on me. That happens all the time. I see it in therapy with caretakers coming in saying, I'm burnt out, I'm yelling at my parents, or I just can't stand it anymore. Alzheimer's is very difficult. It's harder on the caretaker than the Alzheimer's patient in many ways. They're losing their mind. They're not the same individual. So even if you had the best parent, I think you need respite, and I don't value self-sacrifice. Now, if your alternatives are limited, I would still hope that you would have other family members who would pitch in. But if you have the capacity and you're not looking for the inheritance, to spend the money to liberate yourself, you can still visit them anytime you want in the nursing home. My mother-in-law had an incapacitating stroke. She was a tall, heavy woman. No way I could lift her. She was in a nursing home. She couldn't speak. She couldn't walk. And the people were lovely there. So you assume that all nursing homes are equal and that they're all bad. That's not fair to nursing homes. Many of them have lovely people. In fact, I personally thanked each one with a lovely note when she finally passed away. They were lovely. So I would take a closer look at that and see if you wouldn't want your father to have the ability to have compassion for you and to love your own life and to still visit him but to love your own life. So I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner, and I am against self-sacrifice, and I don't think it builds strong character. And coming back after the break, we will talk about several topics. One is a very interesting one about kids and inventors. Why are most books written for books that talk about inventors written for kids and not adults? What is it feeding into? What do kids love, and what type of thinking methods do they and inventors share? And we'll also be talking about power games. One woman feels she's a loner and feels she's being picked upon on the work site by someone who's not a loner. He's very gregarious, and she blew up at this individual. How do you deal with the situation if you're a loner? I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner. I'll take your phone calls too. Toll free 1-877-Dr. Kenner.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance, the Serious Romance Guidebook by clinical psychologist Dr. Ellen Kenner and co-author Dr. Edwin Locke.
What if your partner or spouse is constantly pursuing important values with your encouragement, but none of the choices includes you? For example, you're a chronic golf widow or a girls' night out widower, or you're ignored in favor of your partner's career. If this happens, you need to ask your partner, how important am I to you? Am I a top value or way down on your list? If it turns out that you're not a top value, then is this the right partner for you? The ultimate proof of how important you are to your partner is how your partner acts toward you on a daily basis, not just what words are expressed. With a loving partner, there will be many loving words as well as consistency between word and deed.
You can download Chapter 1 for free by going to drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.
No matter where you live, a wind-up radio should be part of your home emergency kit. This is Bob from C. Crane, the company that introduced America to the benefits of a high-quality wind-up radio from FreePlay. Since we first showcased the FreePlay, we've worked with them directly to make the first wind-up radio with a built-in LED light and solar panel. The FreePlay Plus is still the highest quality self-powered radio out there, and it's available only from C. Crane. A good friend of mine likes to say that you're crazy if you don't own a FreePlay. Well, I'm no psychiatrist, but I've got to say that maybe there's something to that. If there's a radio out there that doesn't need batteries, that has its own built-in flashlight, and that can be powered by its own solar panel, it just doesn't make sense to be stuck at home in the dark when you hit with a power failure. It just makes sense to own a FreePlay Plus.
Order your FreePlay Plus online at ccradio.com. That's ccradio.com. Or give C. Crane a call at 800-522-8863. That's 800-522-8863 to get your FreePlay Plus and be ready for that next power failure.
Hey, Michelle, how was PTA tonight?
Great, except for math. Jamie's math teacher says that she failed her last algebra exam.
It was the same with our Kevin. But thanks to Math Made Easy, he's made a complete turnaround.
How does it work?
Math Made Easy engages students with easy-to-follow explanations. Over 1 million students have boosted their grades thanks to Math Made Easy.
Math Made Easy.
Here's the number. It's 1-800-USA-MATH. Or you can visit mathmadeeasy.com. 1-800-USA-MATH.
For 30 years, the Ayn Rand Institute has been on the front lines of the culture wars, introducing millions of students to Ayn Rand's books and ideas, educating young intellectuals who now teach at universities around the world, and speaking out in defense of free speech, free markets, and free minds. You can join our battle for reason, individualism, and capitalism by making your contribution today at aynrand.org/support.